What's up, Lucky Gamers? It's Lucky Lux, and today we're going to be talking about my support account. Going to be showing you all where my support account is at. I really haven't shown you guys or explained to you completely where this account is at, and I'm also going to be showing you guys what I'm looking for and why. So hopefully this information is useful for those of you who are wanting to be support mains, because honestly, it's a really fun role, especially when you're playing with people who can benefit from it, mainly like crew members, or people who are just like really strong who could use those like boost. Or if you're playing with people who are really squishy, you have different characters that can pretty much like complement that. But anyways, let's go and get into it. All right, so this is pretty much my setup that I use for all the content that I do for the most part, especially when I'm playing with crew members and friends. I know a lot of you don't really like that word, but I do have friends. I do have a crew. So when they play with my support account, they enjoy it because I have Nemesis, whom does pulsive damage. I have the slow. I have passive heals. I have the S1 for the burst heal. Also, I have her chips, which boost Volt attack for people who don't have the chips. So, helping buff people there. On Zero, I have the discharge skill, which immunes from damage. I also have the orbs on the S1, working to try to get the S3 to get a shield for people. And then, of course, S5 is in the distance. I did go ahead and grab my S6 Coco. So I have the S1 that interacts with the S6 for a boost of damage. I have the S3. That's a nice boost of damage. So, I'm pretty much using Zero right now to charge. I get the healing orbs for that. And then I charge and I just spam discharges on my Coco. And then I use Nemesis every now and then to just give a burst heal whenever it's needed. But I have a nice little rotation here. I give a lot of healing. Now, I'm not the best in damage, of course, whenever I'm doing those activities, but I'm still able to keep my people alive for the most part, as long as they stay out of red circles. That's still a struggle for people, and as long as they are somewhat close to me. But by the way, in my team, the way that I have everything set up, Zero and Coco are pretty much a staple on my team. When I get them max starred, they're gonna stay here for the most part because of the amount of buffs that they provide for a team. I'm seeing where, people are able to complete content so much quicker, so much faster, especially when you have people who are really strong, because they're just getting those buffs that allow for more mistakes to happen. Not that you want them to make mistakes, but if they slip up or something happens, maybe they miss a dodge, the damage buffs make up for that. Also, you're healing them so they're not having to lose DPS by trying to run around or heal or anything like that. You're helping keeping them alive. Now, this spot here with Nemesis is not necessarily necessary because all she does is heal. And she does have a slow, yes, it's nice and everything, but that kind of messes up timing, which that's a more complicated thing. But all she really does is heal. The chips give her the buff. So this is a spot where I'm gonna flex Lyra in. This is where you can flex in Shiro. If you want to help with Shatter, you can do King. Pretty much, any of these weapons. If you want to put them in, you can. It's not necessary. It's typically best for a support to use a Grievous weapon, which is, again, a physical weapon that can apply Grievous, because that helps boost damage. Grievous is a huge damage buff, right? So this is where Lyra comes in. So I would say if you are on if you don't have a really strong Nemesis, or you don't have Nemesis at all, then you should look at putting Shiro there, honestly, because she will give you, now you have the Grievous, you have 2 buffers right here, so you have a debuffer and 2 buffers. This would be a perfect team. You're just using Shiro in place of Lyra, and this is what you're looking for to give and provide every buff that you can get just from the weapons, not even including the buff that you get from Coco Ritter trait, and then the buffs that you get from having the shield. which I do hope a lot of you are working towards this shield. This shield is a lot to work on, honestly. And so you want to invest into it because this 25% increased damage is really nice. Everybody knows that damage dealt is pretty much at the end of calculations whenever you're going for damage. So it's better than increased attack. You can get increased attack a lot of places, but damage dealt, not a lot. So you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of that. Also, another one that you could start working on to help support is Space-Time Rift. Increases damage dealt to targets in the area. This is really nice to help your DPS. That way you guys can kind of rotate your relics. Just don't all drop them at the same time. Been seeing a lot of that in Frontier Clash Hard. And then you can always use other ones like Confinement is alright. And then Strange Cube is okay if you max it out, because when you activate it, you'll get weapon charge based off of HP loss. So that could help you if you're low, you use this on the enemy, and then you could get enough weapon charge to heal, buff, or anything like that. And then you'll get 2 charges of it. Now, interesting topic though, alternate destiny. Alternate destiny, a lot of people like talk it up and they're like, oh my god, like if you're dying, just use all destiny. Like, alternate destiny, I'm just going to tell you, there's either something is bugged or it doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do, because a lot of people have died from alt destiny and they've trusted in it and it's completely failed them. Now I know a lot of you in the comments are going to be like, oh, maybe you just don't know how to use it. Maybe that's a skill difference. I mean, I do like, I mean, anywhere from like 500 or so like Frontier clashes a week. And alt destiny just, it works sometimes, but it doesn't work consistently, right? So when you're using a relic that, I mean, that you're trying to depend on for your life, you would kind of want it to work. And I'm not saying that it's trash. I'm just saying that like there's certain things that it doesn't work on. Like Sealy's rockets, it wasn't really working on for people. Like Frigg, some people were still dying. So got to do some more testing on this, but it is supposed to be a great support relic. It does save you most of the time, but it has not been consistently saving. So, you know, just think about that. Another interesting one is, I know a lot of you are getting high cybernetic arms. The max of it reduces final damage of targets hit by 30%. This is going to help mitigate some of the damage that your people take. Now, this is more of a tanky like item, because the tank could like use this real quick and lower the amount of damage that the target does. And you have multiple charges. So if you know the enemy is about to hit really hard, use this real quick, lower the damage that they do for 7 seconds. And while the healer is trying to heal people, you can help protect your team with this. This is something that I was like, oh, yo, you could totally use this. And as a tank, you can get a shield reducing the damage that you take. Like, this is a great tank item, and I really think tanks should be using it. So we're going to talk about it more when we go over a tank video, but I wanted to talk about it here because supports could also use it. Also, Omnium Hand Cannon, you want to make sure that you're using that. You want to level that up on your accounts, because this protects you from Sealy, this protects you from Apophis. People use it to block enemies from pretty much shooting any type of projectile, or it stops them from dashing too far out. So, and the reason why I'm saying this to like supports is because like supports don't really need to run things like Missile Barrage, Magnetic Storm, Hologram Projector, Kuant. You don't really need to run that. You need to run things that support your team. So, you know, just as we're leading to 2.0, I just want to make sure that you guys are looking at that. Also, last thing I want to talk about is, I know a lot of people have been like doing interesting things with their gear, like leveling up their gloves and stuff like that. For a healer slash support, you really don't want to do that. You don't want to take away from these base stats to give resistance and HP. You don't want to be squishy. And this kind of goes back with the stats. I just really want to make a, like, I just really want to just comment on this. Like, healers do not need to be squishy. If people are telling you to build like 13, 14, 15,000 attack on your healer, and that's what you do as a support main, like, It's not the greatest. Now, if you're using your support like because you are lacking damage, but you really want to be a DPS, that's another story. But if you're wanting to be a support main and that's what you're mainly doing, this is who I'm talking to. You want to have a good amount of HP and resistance. You want to at least be able to get up to kind of where I was at, like around the 600k range, and you want to be 5k in each. Then you can start building into your attack, right? Like, I mean, you could still roll and get something ridiculous, kind of like I did here, but you mainly want to just be getting these resistances and HP. Like, I could be better on mine. Like, and I still have attack rolls, but I still want to get a decent amount of HP rolls because, like, I want something to hit me and I survive. That way, I'm not off the field. Because if you're in Frontier Clash and your healer's down for, like, 8 seconds and 16 seconds and 24, 30, like, they're gone. Or if in a raid, if you die, you're out. Like, if they can't revive you or it's your second time dying. And once the healer's gone, it's just going to make everything harder for everybody. So, just think about those things. Like, you are one of the more important people because, like, the amount of buffs that you give makes up for another DPS. It really does. It really does. Trust me, I know. You can't tell me otherwise. It really does. But that's pretty much what I want to show you guys, an update on my account, what I'm looking for, which you guys should be looking for, just to kind of help you out as you're going to 2.0, because healers don't really have a character that you're going for until Lyra. And then there's the new support that we're going to be possibly getting. So it's looking very promising for healers. It seems like a very free-to-play friendly route because most of the characters we want are standard banner. So anything else is just extra for you. But if you guys want to catch me playing Tower of Fantasy, you can catch me at twitch.tv, Lucky Lux Gaming. We're going to be there. We're going to be there on 2.0 for Vera. So please make sure you hang out on the stream on Thursday. I'm going to be going for Ruby on my other account. On this account, probably not going to be going for Ruby, but still going to be grinding, still going to be getting ready for the new content. So I'm very excited. So hope to see you guys there. But anyways, I'm going to go and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.